Hello and welcome to another edition of The One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Kyle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm great. And you know what? The Union are moving on up after a 6-point week. Yes,
Yes.
so we're real
Third place,
excited.
baby.
Just like the Jeffersons, they're moving on up
Moving on up.
on
Yes.
the Eastern Conference. So, anyway, on today's show, we are going to talk a lot about Saturday's festivities, including the
Indeed.
Union's 2-1 victory over NYCFC. And we're also going to recap, Wednesday night's victory over Nashville as well. That was very unexpected. So,
Yeah.
and even though most of us aren't really excited about it, maybe some people out there are getting some Leagues Cup fever, but we're going to talk a little bit about the Leagues Cup and kind of preview this busy week we got as
It's a
well.
busy week. Yeah.
So, but before we go ahead and get started, what are we wearing today?
I am wearing the 2022 playoff snake shirt.
I love that.
The two lightning bolts and the snake. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Like the last 2 years with the playoff shirts, they've been awesome.
Yeah. And I am wearing the Join or Die t-shirt. I absolutely love that slogan. And
Yes.
I wish it was still outside the stadium when you walked in. But that's another conversation for another time.
Yes.
But again, follow us on social media. We are on Twitter at TOTWAG.
We're also on Instagram and Facebook at The One Team We Agree On.
And we're on YouTube, Google, Apple, and Spotify. So if you're following us there, make sure to leave a comment and, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you. So help us with our friend Al, Algorithm. So any bit helps there. So let's start off and talk about Nashville. So we come off a 2-game disappointing stretch in Atlanta and LA, and morale is low. Now, Jim is, saying, hey, we just weren't sharp enough. And
he said that a lot. The recurring theme was we just weren't sharp enough.
Right. And then, of course, lo and behold, they announce, hey, guess what? Jim is back. So, he signs that extension finally. It's made official. And I remember sitting in the press conference, he's like, I wish, we made this announcement coming off a winning streak. But, hey, so going into that, I think we were all a little apprehensive of the game that I know I did have as a loss was Nashville. Obviously,
I thought at best it was going to be a draw, at best.
So the game starts out, and to be quite honest, the Union didn't look awful.
No.
But they were also benefiting from the fact that let's be honest, Nashville couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
Especially Teal Bunbury. Yeah, and I have to say, I did think they definitely started out better. However, I had said before in the previous games, I was like, we're just not getting any luck at all. And, well, we got some luck against Nashville. I mean, between the post and the crossbar.
Yeah, I mean, what was
it? Post and the crossbar and Lovitz were basically the men of the match, right?
10 shots off target and 3 hardwoods hit. I mean, come on, that's a poor shooting night if you're Nashville.
Did any of us expect Bendick to have a clean sheet?
No. And let's be honest, did he really deserve a clean sheet?
Oh, probably not.
Probably not.
He got saved by them just missing a lot.
I will say,
he did better. He did a lot better.
I think, for that game, Bueno stepping in for Brujo there.
Yeah.
And then locking down and limiting Mukhtar's chances. I mean, that right there is a victory in itself.
It helped we had Kai back.
It helps we have Kai back. That was huge. He played a very solid game. Elliott probably played one of his best games to that date.
Which is why he got on, team of the match day.
Right.
Very well deserved.
And, overall, I thought we were disruptive enough at times to create chances. I also want to give Quinn Sullivan a shot, and we'll talk more about him from this past Saturday's match. He played a great, he played 60 minutes, I believe, until Ua came on. But I just thought he was very effective.
Yeah, right out the gate coming down, and
And
taking shots.
honestly, he probably should have finished one of those.
Hmm.
Will's made a couple good saves. So
Yeah.
I think from that, we got those early goals. I
Yeah.
mean, we get the early PK. What was that? Right after right before the first half, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, and I have to say, like, Bueno, he did such a good job with, really keeping Hani Mukhtar from doing
Right.
damage, because
There was a couple
that,
chances there, but
yeah,
we get the PK
yeah.
early on. Well, I shouldn't say early on, but towards the end, and then we hit, and Gazdag hits that, and then he hits another
Mhm.
one. PK gets overturned in our favor, so it goes back to your story.
And those were all the right calls, by the way.
They were, but luck was on our side that
For
night.
once, yeah.
And
For
so
once.
I think as well, Nashville fans were saying, "Oh, Gazdag's a penalty merchant." Well, here's my retaliation to that. I mean, the guy's got 9 assists now. If you want to call him hockey assists, it's 9,
Mhm.
but he's got 9 assists on the year. He's creating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to have a reliable, guy that can make penalty kicks.
Yeah.
So that's my argument there. One. Number two, let's talk about some of the blunders, though, of that match. One. Well, we'll get to the ref in a second.
Yeah.
One, Nashville fans throwing stuff, and this seems to be a theme this week.
Yeah, stay classy, people.
And then you hear, I'm not going to call him out. I've actually had interaction with the guy. He's a good dude. But
I know
going and defending that, saying, "Oh, we started it, and then it was this and that, and yeah," and then they were started bringing up about past history. But the fact of the matter is, guys, fans gotta quit throwing stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, people were like, "Oh, well, don't celebrate in front of our supporter section." No, it's, you know what? Don't throw crap on the field. Okay, don't throw crap. They hit Jack McGlynn with a water bottle. Like, why? Don't do that. That is classless.
Todd Lewis for posting that that video of when Hani scored. I believe it was Todd.
Yeah.
And he saluted. So. Does what he always does. He salutes the river end. Guess what? No one threw anything.
We didn't throw stuff, but you better believe if we had, we would never have heard the end of it, because we're Philly and we threw snowballs at Santa 60 years ago. Blah blah.
And you did.
It wasn't even Santa. It was some drunk guy that was in a
For
really
context, folks, when she brings up about Dolphin fans on social media, which can be valid, let's be honest, I'll be like, yeah, well, you guys threw snowballs at Santa. Which,
my cousin got stabbed at a Dolphins game, and that had no Eagles fans involved. That was,
and to be fair, for Eagles fans listening, it's just a joke. Like, I know the whole story, and yeah, it's totally overblown. And I've always said that I think Philly gets a bad rap for some of that stuff. And now, having been a fan of the Union, I totally agree. Philly gets a bad rap for some stuff. So, I just like teasing about the snow.
Yeah, I know you do.
But so that was the first thing, and then the second thing. Let's talk about the ref.
Yeah, so I will say he
lost control.
He lost control, and okay, now Jillian, I freaking hated that he got a red card there. I mean, he probably should have gotten one because he had his arm around his neck, but Jillian should have just, taken the fall there and just stayed down,
right,
and not get punished. I get it though. It's hot as hell there.
Right.
It's hot, and they're flustered and they're pissed off, and it just escalates, and those guys end up with red cards. And Shaq Moore, absolutely, I think he deserved a red card.
Well, yeah,
but
I think it was frustration on their part.
Yeah,
and I know I argued, with some people that's not a red card. But when I go back and watch that video the next day, it's a red card.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't get hands up the face, and even Jim said anytime you get red hands around the face,
Bueno got a red card in Colorado pretty much for
for
the
the
same
same exact
thing.
thing. You just
So
can't do that.
and our friend Billy, he brought up too. It's like he asked me, I'm a teacher, and if two kids get in a fight at school, who's getting suspended? If one kid hits another kid and the other kid retaliates, who's
Yeah,
getting in trouble? I'm like, oh, they're both getting in trouble,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's the same thing, So
So is it unfortunate? Yes.
we're
Does he?
lucky that
Should he?
Julian wasn't
Fine.
fine more
Well, he
like
was.
he
He
was
was
fine
fine
for
for
taking too long to get
trying
off
to
field,
yeah.
but we're lucky that it wasn't more than just like the one game
Oh,
suspension.
absolutely. And I don't know what Shaq's was, but I'm surprised. I don't think I heard anything.
I haven't heard any after, although I
So if
wasn't
you
really
did, if anybody's
falling for
heard
that.
anything on that, I don't know if he just got game two. I'd be shocked. But bottom line, ref kind of started losing control of that game towards
Yeah.
the end.
And then we had what, like how 14
minutes
minutes of
stoppage
stoppage time.
time, which was ridiculous. I don't even.
Yeah.
Did we even go full 14?
I think we did.
It was close to it.
Something like that, yeah.
But, final whistle blows. I mean, yeah, Julian's not available for Saturday, but you kind of left feeling, hey, we picked up 3 points. That's a great steal.
Yeah.
Anytime you can get points on the road is huge, especially 3, as we've always said. So
yeah, that was a good lead-in going into Saturday with NYC. We were coming off a win, and we had some positives, and so I mean, because we had great games by Gazdag, by Bueno, by Jack Elliott, and of course we after the national game, we were of course watching to see what would happen with Jamaica and Mexico, and
unfortunately, Mexico beats them 3-0.
I mean, we all wanted Andre and Damien and Jamaica to do well. We wanted those guys to do well. We didn't want to see Andre get scored on a bunch or anything like that. But at the same time, can we all agree we are stoked that Andre and Damien are back, especially Andre. We didn't get Damien back, on Saturday, but having Andre back was.
I just think it's
so beneficial.
I think it's a bigger argument that the league needs to structure these major tournaments like the Gold's Cup.
Yeah, so
and the league,
BS.
So I get though. At the same time, it's a great honor for them to represent their country. For sure. So
that's like we were all really torn about.
Like I said, it was a double-edged sword. You want him to do well because he's that's reflection of how awesome the Union are. And, for him to represent his country and get that honor. But at the same time, it's kind of like we kind of need you back, too. So, I think when we look at after that game, obviously, Jack and Danny get, on team of the match day. I hate that term. But,
I know, it just feels awkward.
But then he also got player of the match day. Gazdag did. And, that's just awesome to see. I forget the exact stat. There was a stat that was dropped, I believe. It's on our on our Twitter page, for like some record that the Union have held. It's like the most of MLS teams having players of the match day with.
Oh, well, yeah.
It was like 7 or something. It was like Uwa, Carranza, and Gazdag all have like player of the match day.
Well, this season we've had Carranza twice. Does he have it? Has he had it? I know he's had it at least twice.
And then we've had Uwa and Uwa. So we've had 4, and
Uwa and Gazdag.
And I think we had like 3 or 4 last year. So anyway.
Yeah, well.
Anyway.
Pretty impressive.
So that was really impressive. But before we talk about New York City, a former guest of the show and Union alum, Stuart Finley.
Oh, yes.
We'll talk about this, bringing this up because, you're a big fan of Stu, and I love Stu too. So Stu's moving on from Oxford.
Yeah, so Stu he has been loaned from Oxford United to Kilmarnock, which is where he was before he was with the Union. So that's from they're in Scotland. It's just outside Glasgow. And so it's a homecoming for Stu, and I'm hoping that he can really find his mojo there. And seemed like he was doing okay with the new coach at Oxford, but I think he's gonna probably be pretty happy to be back in his old stomping grounds. And I did see there was an interview that Kilmarnock had posted on their webpage, and it's about 8 minutes long. You should check it out if you are interested. But yeah, he talks about what it was like with Oxford and how glad he's to be back with Kilmarnock. And he talks a bit about his time in MLS and with Philly, and he's very complimentary of MLS. Just he basically says that it's really an up and coming league. He had a great experience. It's an experience he was glad he took. And while he didn't get as much playing time as he would have liked, it still was a good experience that he's glad he did.
Yeah, and the other thing is, he revealed that him and his wife are having a child.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
Congrats to them. That's exciting.
But I think for him, he seemed genuinely happy.
Yeah.
Like when we had him on the show, he spoke not so much how much he loved the Union. He also, when he spoke about Kilmarnock,
because we asked him about it, and if you haven't checked out that
his
episode,
eyes lit up,
check it out.
Just as much as when he talked about Union. So I think him back in a great spot like this is going to be great for him. So I guess my question for you is, are you going to get a Kilmarnock jersey?
I think I probably will, because, I'm Scottish. Well, my great grandmother came from Scotland, and so I've always been very interested in that, in my heritage and everything. And I kind of want to get into following them. And yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a jersey. So
yeah. So we'll probably be following him from a distance. So anyway, so let's get back talking about the Union. So Saturday,
it was a hot one.
Yeah, it was really hot.
Yeah, so very hot, very humid. But yeah, so we start out we were at the tailgate.
Yeah, so a couple things here. We're going to share a screen. A couple new features were added to that plaza. Last episode we talked about it, and with the thing. So let me pull this up here, and we're going to share this.
Yes.
So they added soccer balls to the entrance of Union Yards and the Sons of Ben tailgate area.
So this is on Reedy Street, and the last time we had a home game that they had put in some pavers, bricks and things in the street there, make it look real nice with the Union logo. And yeah, since then they've added these big soccer balls. It's kind of like the big balls that they have outside of Target, but it's soccer balls. I'm just like, hey, we have big balls. Soccer balls.
I mean, it's a nice little aesthetic. I mean,
yeah, I saw lots of kids like taking pictures on them and stuff. So that's cool. It's a nice little aesthetic there.
Yeah, it is. And we saw, I think it was Andrum was on there too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think it's a cool little feature to see all that stuff. And it's really nice. And next, for as hot as it was, there was a really good crowd this weekend.
We should say there was a really good crowd at the Sons of Ben tailgate.
Oh,
Union Yards looked kind of dead, to be honest.
It really did.
And they actually were promoting it on their social media and everything.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's because a lot of people go to the plaza. I'm thinking if a lot of people just are over all the way in like lot C, and for people to walk all the way over there, maybe they just don't they kind of stop at the plaza.
Yeah, I mean, this is getting close to like
SB tailgate was hopping. Yeah, it was good.
Tunes were good,
and props to them having some canopies out.
Yeah,
we went back where it was shaded, anyways.
It was a good experience overall. Lots of great conversation. We talked with Jose and Mike, a couple other people. Valerie, we spent simple time talking to at the beginning when we got there, and
they were passing out the military stickers.
Yep. Rachel was going around passing out. So I mean, it was a good experience. For Union Yards, I mean, again, it was dead. But and we'll talk about this later at the end. I'm starting to wonder, maybe like you said about the plaza, if people are like, "Hey, we're going to Sons of Ben tailgate," because it's a better option. I mean, let's be honest, 10 for members, 15 for non-members. That's a good deal for all you can eat and drink compared to probably you're paying that and maybe more for just a beer or soda
Oh, for sure. It's
some
like
food.
$15, isn't it, for that beer you like to get at Sterling Pig?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
we pay $10 for the whole tailgate.
But even with the heat, it was an awesome atmosphere at the tailgate. And so, one other thing we want to share is there was also a great march we had. So
Yeah.
let's share that video right now. All right.
Yep. So, and if you haven't been there lately, we kind of wrap around. So we'll stop at that new paved area. So I kind of waited for him to come back around there.
Yeah, but that and the one thing I will say about that is, as we were marching in, so from this, as we were marching in, right?
Yeah.
We saw a lot of people, those that were at Union Yards, and even as we were walking the plaza, I'm seeing more and more people like having out their cameras.
Oh yeah.
And like, wow, like this, and it's almost like, guys,
join
in. And like I was, and even
I've seen some people do,
and I was even
yeah.
like, I was kind of trailing to the side trying to take some video as well.
Yeah.
And there was a couple kids just standing there, and you could tell they were like, join in. I was like, come on, join in. And like a couple families got in the back, started joining in. So if you're walking around and you see like the march coming, even if you don't know the words, join in. They're not that difficult, and you'll pick up on it very quickly. So it's a fun time.
And I think maybe people don't realize like that, yeah, they can join in. You don't have to be in the supporters group, because I think that's what it might be a little bit too.
It could very well be. I mean,
it's like, oh, that's the Sons of Ben. They're doing their march. It's like, no, it's for everybody though. Everyone can join.
The bigger the march, the more impactful it's going to be.
Yeah.
So
I want to see it get really big.
I mean, so that was good. And then of course we went in and, we'll share the video. Well, not video.
Well, as usual, we went in the Union store. We want to see if there's anything new.
And there really wasn't a whole ton.
They had some of the military. They had their hat and the shirt. So if you're just listening to the pod here, it's kind of that military green kind of color, and the kind of greenish logo for the Union, the hat and the. It's like, would you call that like kind of beige green, whatever?
I call it army green.
Army green,
It's like that brown, that like greenish, or like light brown. And then they had like both the hat and they had like almost like a neon green.
Yeah.
I mean, they were nice. I mean, very, very nice. Actually, I kind of like this shirt. I'll be honest with you. I think it was like $30 though, but
for a pretty plain shirt, to be honest.
So it was a nice shirt. But
we also looked at the Captain America jerseys.
And in person, not a fan.
Yeah,
not a fan.
Picture of that
too busy. Yeah, we didn't upload it, but it was like, I'm like looking at going, this is way too busy.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it looks like computer wallpaper.
It really does. It really, really does.
Kind of seems phoned in.
So then we walked around a little bit, and again, because it was so humid out and hot, it was like just sweltering in the corridor, and we finally got to our seats, and just sitting there, it was like, usually I stand and chat, and it was just like, I just wanted to sit, because that heat and sun was just beating down on us, and there was a breeze. When the breeze got to us, it was fine.
Yeah, and honestly, once the sun went down, it was definitely manageable. I thought like as the evening went on, it was okay, but anyway,
But anyway, let's talk about the festivities. So
the TIFO.
Well, we'll talk about the TIFO right now. Let's share that. I will give I'm gonna give Ryan credit for the job he did on this. I mean, this is incredible.
Yeah. So with El Brujo, and it says Keystone of the Fearsome Four. So it's if you don't get this reference on this here, it's basically a play on Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And Brujo basically doing the kind of the pose he did, doing what he did after he scored his banger of a goal. And I feel like this was prophetic. And then of course you have, I think it's supposed to be Jim Curtin actually in the background being kind of like Dr. Doom there.
Ryan.
No, apparently no. I think Ryan himself said that's supposed to be like Jim as like, I guess Dr. Doom.
Oh,
isn't that Dr. Doom?
You know what? From that video, it was.
And if you haven't seen because behind the graphic it says and the Rocket Man, but it's like in Norwegian. That's why it's spelled
Ah,
that way, Rocket Man.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
So that's supposed to be Jim and
and
then.
that's Jacob Glesnes in his like fisherman's outfit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow, you actually knew more than I did for once. So that's
Yeah. Huh.
kudos for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. And then also we had, because it's Nate, military appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
We had the person coming in
Yeah, we had a parachute.
there.
Yeah, so they parachute in, and here's them landing on the field. The skill that takes is just is the fact that they can land perfectly in there. It's cool.
It was really cool. Just seeing them because we got there, it was like right at the beginning too, where like
Mm-hmm.
they were still like going over like some other things. You could see the plane going over, and then they dropped
Mm-hmm.
him. So you saw him so far up, and we were just sitting there
Yeah.
watching him go down, and that was fun just to see him land. And he has spotter, obviously, but
Yeah.
that was a really cool moment. They did that last year, so.
Yep.
So then we went ahead and
Paul Reed, B-ball Paul, he banged the drum. That was
yeah.
cool.
So
just re-signed with the Sixers. So
yeah, it was a great opening, good crowd, good energy. Of course, NYC brought their group. We'll
yeah.
split it that way, and we'll talk more about that. But I think because of the heat, usually we're pretty loud for the Saturday game, and I
Yeah.
think the heat was just when the kickoff started, we were just kind of all like, you could really hear the New York supporters.
Yeah, I went back and watched the game on TV, and I think we came across as louder on the broadcast because of them piping in the crowd noise than I feel like we actually seemed during the game.
I mean, maybe because it's closer to the Keystone end, that might be why.
Oh, I could hear the Keystone Ultras at
I
times
just felt like
pretty good.
our side was kind of, we were definitely cheering and chanting. It was just like, I think it was just the heat.
Yeah, and I was looking around and there was like just a lot of people just standing and like watching and not cheering, and it's like trying to get it going here, but yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, the first 20 minutes out the gate, here's how I'm going to sum up this game.
We took it right down at the beginning.
Yeah, and it's like, I thought we were playing with a little bit more urgency than we have been recently. We kind of started looking like our old self. Now, credit New York City was coming off, hadn't had a loss in 8 games.
Yeah.
All right. So, they're kind of hitting their stride. And Jim said at the end, they get a really good striker, like when they had Toddy. They're going to be really dangerous. I mean, they're playing good soccer right now.
Right.
Let's put it that way. So, we were getting some opportunities, and we were kind of early on for a team that's like, I think, 3rd or 4th in MLS in possession. We were kind of back and forth, weren't back and forth, but we were keeping.
It seemed kind of 50-50 there.
Yeah, and so it was really good. And of course, first 20 minutes. Now it was funny. We
got through those first 15 minutes unscathed.
Yeah, and even if it was like 14-17, they had a free kick right outside the 18. We're like, oh no.
Yes, that's right.
And then it got denied. But I thought early on playing some good defense. Blake, obviously showing why, he's back.
Oh, when they announced the starting lineup, you better believe Andre got cheered very. I mean, they all get cheered really loudly, especially Andre. But I feel like it was just a little more.
I just thought, for the first half, I'm sitting there going, this is just kind of a very tightly contested match. Again, credit to New York. They kind of knew what we wanted to do, but you weren't really making a lot of mistakes, I would say. Now, probably some people listening probably like, no, they're making a ton. I felt like it was a good game. Was it amazing and awesome and like we looked like world beaters? No,
but we were definitely clicking a lot better. There's some really good passing going on. I liked in the beginning, Quinn took it down, and we were getting shots, and we at least getting opportunities there. And I thought that Quinn had 2 really good games.
He has. He's starting to gain confidence, and I'm really excited. So,
and honestly, when Quinn takes a shot, it's on target.
It is. So, speaking of Quinn, let's transition to his assist here.
Yeah, so
So
that was about like the 22nd minute, I think. Yeah.
yeah, so you get nice ball from Gosdog there.
Yeah.
Let's watch this pass.
Yeah. Yeah, this cross by Sullivan was so good. And Martinez just takes it out of the air. Bam.
And just hits that.
It took him so
and
long.
It's such a nice goal, and the place just erupted when he hit that.
Oh, and we've all wanted that so bad to see Bro score at home, and yeah.
So one of the things, and then of course our section started going bananas.
Yeah.
So here's our section.
Yep. So
nuts. It's a live look in.
Yep.
I am so hot there. I'm just like, it's so hot. But that really seemed to spark the crowd then. And
for
we
sure.
started getting a lot more energy going.
Yeah. And to hear Kevin Casey to announce that goal too was, he'd probably been dying to announce this goal scored by Jose Martinez.
I think you got that here.
Oh, I have it on here. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean...
Yep. So that was great.
I love his goal video. It's a lot better than Chris Donovan.
Oh, Chris Donovan was just like,
he's like, hello. But anyway, so that got the crowd back into it. And, I thought, and then we, of course, had that injury, like, what was it, like 30 minutes in?
It was, he pretty much after the goal was scored, they kind of were taking kind of an unofficial hydration break, it seemed like there. And then
that's right,
because I actually went back and watched the broadcast, and they mentioned that it wasn't really like a hydration break, but it ended up being one. And then that's when basically Bedoya went out and Bueno came in.
Yeah, and Jim, it sounds like he re-aggravated his injury again, and could be 2 weeks, so
I mean,
but Bueno comes in and did fine.
Bueno's been playing great. I'm glad he's getting these opportunities. Still waiting on Richard Odata to get a chance.
And so let's talk about real quick.
Yeah, because there's rumors that
he's going to a Norway
team.
Yeah, Norwegian.
Then I've heard that might not be happening either.
Right. So my thought on that is this: if the Union can go get him time in a league, other than U2, and he's playing soccer, maybe with the transfer window it opens up a spot. But at least if he gets playing time. It's like the Brandon Craig thing. Yeah,
I was kind of hoping that maybe we'd get to see him in Leagues Cup, maybe. But we'll see what happens.
Right.
So Brujo's goal kind of quieted down NYC for a little bit, but
and then the second half, we kind of New York City started, pushing the pedal to the metal. You can see they readjust in the locker room. Union looked, again, solid, but the more and more the subs started coming in, you could really see their depth. Like, James Sands comes in and all these guys, and they started creating more chances because they were pressing, obviously, to get a goal, which opened it up for counter. And we really saw a nice counterattack here from the other goal scorer of the night. And
if you had this on... Yeah, I don't think anyone had this on your bingo card of Brujo and Donovan scoring.
So,
yes.
Watch this.
Oh, it's a mess from New York City.
Yeah.
When they scored that, it was like, wow.
We had a great view of it, too, because it was right there in front of us. So, and I did not get our celebration video of it, but we were pretty excited. I was actually just kind of taking it all in. Because that was his first MLS goal, like regular game.
It was. And so, if you need to go watch Todd's YouTube video on the goal breakdown.
Yeah, free kick. Check it out.
Yeah, on the free kick pod. It's excellent. And he even reviews Jason's goal for NYCFC, and it really brought that up. So, and I want to talk about that in a second because, once we got that goal there, everybody started really getting excited. And then that's when we started chanting. We were doing the... Hey, Philly, you, and
we started doing that, and it was catching on, and then
we had the whole thing with their supporter section again, throwing stuff.
Yeah, so after we scored our second goal, it sounded like the NYC supporters were throwing drinks and stuff down at the Union fans that were down
in the
below.
family section, apparently.
Yeah.
So that was kind of weird. And then, I don't know, I've seen different varying opinions on this. Like, I guess the security moved our family, our fans out instead of their families, which...
I also heard, though, that they chose to leave. I heard it wasn't necessarily,
Interesting.
Kevin Kincaid was sitting in the section down below, and he was been tweeting about that and posting what he was being sent and everything. So
interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't hear that.
Because, I mean, okay, if our fans were throwing crap, yeah, I'll call them out.
Right.
Like, course. That's not something that we want. But from everything I've seen so far, it, maybe our fans said things, which that's not surprising, but I only see NYC fans throwing crap. So,
and apparently there was also a fight, which
that's typical. It happens every time.
Every time New York City, because there's a fight.
It happened when we were at the away game too, and it happened last year.
Right,
so, it's like every time.
It is. It's interesting. So,
yeah.
And then of course they, Union unfortunately get a little lax. They concede late. And then it's like, ooh, 2-goal lead.
And then started getting really dicey at the end and in stoppage time.
And thank goodness for Andre Blake, because there was about 4 or 5 chances there throughout the entire game.
We kept saying, Bendick doesn't save that one.
Yeah, there was a save late in the game, and then
Andre had some nice saves
on a tool. It's like, at the end of the day, maybe we kind of let up defensively there at the end.
Would have been nice to have the clean sheet.
But at the end of the day, you take 3 points. You take 6 points on the week, and now you head into the League's Cup. You got 40 points, considering all Blake's absences, injuries.
Think of what could have been if Blake wasn't out. And
all this stuff we should have, could have, would have. At the end of the day, Union are in 3rd place in the East.
Yep.
They're 3 points behind, New England. So, regardless, are they going to catch Cincinnati? Probably not, but you never know.
Can we catch New England? Yes.
We can catch New England. You get that 2nd seed. That's huge. That'll be huge. Because all it takes is one bad showing from Cincinnati, and, now we get the high seed in the East.
Yeah, if we get the momentum at the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think at the end of the day, you take that. You're excited. I thought, great for Chris Donovan. Quinn, this young guy starting to show up. Bueno. It's great to see them all starting to gain a little bit more confidence. Jim showing a little bit more faith. Does that mean we still probably need some people in transfer? I'd like to see some pieces, but
I still feel like we need someone to come off the bench in.
Oh, absolutely. I think we need some more
striker
pieces,
role,
but we'll see. So
and for his efforts, Jose Martinez, he got player of the match day bench anyway. So there was that. And and he was one of the candidates for the goal of the match day. But he did not win. But still.
We go into the League's Cup feeling pretty good, So let's talk about the League's Cup. Now, before we all go, it's a money grab and yada, yada, yada. You guys have listened to this show. You know how we feel about League's Cup. It is what it is.
That being said, we're still going. And
yes, we are.
Hey, it's more Union we get to watch. Yeah, but
so
yeah,
let's. I had some slides here I want to show. Just discuss a couple things from this. So first and foremost, let's look at the groups. So here's a group announcement of each stage. So Union are in East 1 with Querétaro and Tijuana. And then there's 3 other groups in the East. So, when we look at that, obviously within the East, you got Atlas, which we already played this year. You got Pumas. And then you have San Luis. So I want to go over here, though, and look at the West. So in the West, outside of LAFC being in the West, look at the Liga MX teams that are in there. You have Tigres. You have Leon, who won the CCL. You have Monterrey, Club America. You have who else was in that group? Oh, Cruz Azul. You have some of the best of Liga MX in the West. And then in you know, and then in the Central, you also have Club America, and I think who's the other one? I forget where Chivas is. Where's Chivas at? Is Chivas in the South? I'm looking here. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm sorry, folks. We're like trying to find out. But anyway, Chivas is right here in the Central.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Central's got, and then in the Central, you also have Cincinnati, you got Nashville. So, I mean, I think the Union got a decent bracket, so to speak. But, you know, the scoring's kind of funky at the same time. So, for you, those of you who don't know, a win's obviously 3 points in your group. But now we're going to do hockey scoring. Yes, I know. So a loss is obviously 0. But a draw, you get 1 point. But then we go right in to penalty kicks, which... Yay! And if you win the penalty kick, you get 2 points. So, I mean, okay, let's make it a little exciting, I guess, but why do we have to have penalty kicks for group stages? I don't know.
No, it's dumb. And I still have PTSD.
I'm sure you and many other Union fans do. But I just still wish they would just do, okay, we're going to play another, like, 15-minute golden ball and just do a golden ball. Like, play, like, an extra 15 and
for real.
Still
much rather do
draw.
I hate penalty kicks to decide games. I hate that. I hate shootouts in hockey. I hate penalty kicks deciding a game in soccer. So,
and then also along those lines, here's the other thing. So the seeding once after group stages is determined by the 2022 Supporters Shield standings, which is good for the Union. But again, is it really fair to Liga MX? No. And like, what happens if you get a bracket in the bracket? So let's look at the overall bracket here. I'm going to share that real quick. This is our last slide for today. So this one is the Leagues Cup bracket. So as you can see, in the Union side, we have the East and the South. And Pachuca's down there. And then in the West, you have the Central and the West. So the West, this side of the bracket is loaded with a lot of your Liga MX powerhouses, historic powerhouses, I should say. I mean, there's some good ones. Querétaro's, in the middle of the pack. They actually bounced back. Atlas is all historically, so is Pumas. But, I mean, at the Union advance, they would play the winner of, if they win the East, they play the second, which probably, who knows. And then they probably would end up playing at somebody out like the Red Bull San Luis. Probably going to be, I would say, Revs. And then it kind of moves on from there.
Yep.
But hey, guess what? Good news, fans, because where are they? I don't believe. No, we do. I think are we in the same side as Messi? Yes, we are. We have to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we might see the Messi at the Sioux. Woo! For the
raise your hand if you want to see Brujo take on Messi.
I mean, I kind of
and we were joking, we're like, yeah, Brujo would like lay one finger on him and it's probably gonna be like an instant red card. Is Messi gonna get that kind of treatment? Oh, probably.
The
Tom Brady treatment.
So big question I want to ask you. Do the Union take Leagues Cup seriously?
Well, Jim said they are, but...
Jim said a lot of things in the past. Are the Union going to take the Leagues Cup seriously? Or do you want them to take it seriously?
Honestly, I don't... Like, if they do good, great. But...
That's kind of how I am.
I'm just like, okay.
I mean...
I don't want us to go and, like, lose against Tijuana this weekend.
No, I mean, I would love to see scale group stage and then whatever happens, happens.
Exactly.
Do I think, maybe at the end of the day, I mean, who knows what happens? I mean, there's 3 cup bids for next year. So, hey, if they want to get back, here's your opportunity outside of the MLS Cup. So, or the Shield. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yep.
If you're fired up for it, awesome. I mean, we're gonna go. We're gonna be supportive and have a good time.
Yeah, we plan on going to all the games that we can.
I mean, let's not kid ourselves. It's a money grab for Don Garber.
Totally money grab.
So, a lot going on this week. So tomorrow we are going to the MLS.
And you'll be listening to it probably on Tuesday. So if you are listening to Tuesday, it'll be today.
Yes, and we're going to be headed to the MLS All-Star Skills Challenge.
Yeah, so we're heading down to DC, going to the Skills Challenge. We're like, oh, why not? $15 tickets. I really, and I'm sure some of you will agree with me, I would have loved to have seen Jose Martinez and Jacob Glesnes in some of these skills. Like, who does not want to see those guys do, like, the crossbar challenge, for instance?
Right. So I'm kind of excited from my aspect of, just to get to see some of these players from Arsenal, get to see some of these other MLS All-Stars that we haven't really seen much of in person. So I think it'll be a good opportunity, fun, laid-back atmosphere. So if you're going down, definitely send us a message. Let us know you're going to be there. We'd love to meet up, say hi.
Yeah, we're going down early. We're going to just walk around. They have lots to do around there. It's a really up-and-coming area.
Yeah.
The area. So if you're not familiar with it, I mean, Audi Field isn't that far from where the Nats play too. So we've been to a game there before when the Phillies were playing there. And they have the Solace Outpost, which is a brewery down there. Yep. So right on the river. So, there's lots of places to go that are in walking distance. And so, we're going to go down and check it out. And, it'll be fun. And
And then also, we're going to have some guests coming up here.
We've got several guests coming up.
Last week, really finalizing a couple. We still have some people out there that we need to get confirmed with. But stay tuned. I think this week and next week are going to be very busy, and you're going to be hearing a lot from us. So
yeah, and then we'll have the Skills Challenge. We'll be at the game against Tijuana on Saturday. And Sons of Ben are doing a tailgate for that, so check that out.
Definitely check that out. That'll be fun.
And we're going to the game, the U2 against Wrexham game.
And we're going to...
and we're doing Leagues Cup games, whatever home games they end up having, so...
So, yeah, and we'll be there against Querétaro, so...
Yep.
So, until next time, thanks for tuning in, and...
make sure to subscribe, leave a comment. We love hearing from you. And if you have any ideas on future episodes or guests, please send them our way. I know we'd really love to get some certain players on here at some point and some other people within the organization. We're working on that.
So,
we're working on some things there.
And so until next time, I'm Kyle.
I'm Jillian.
And we'll see you at the game.